Hello Capricorn. I need to talk to you about something that just came through in this reading, and honestly, the energy here is absolutely wild. I just pulled cards about a situation involving someone who tried really hard to mess with how others perceive you, and what happened to them as a result is something I need to share with you because this is major. So I'm sitting here with my deck, and the first card that comes out is the Queen of Wands. Now listen. This card is you in this situation. This is your energy, your essence, everything you represent to the world right now. The Queen of Wands is this incredibly magnetic, charismatic, confident energy. She sits on her throne with a sunflower in one hand and her wand in the other, with a black cat at her feet, and she just radiates this warmth and power that people can't help but notice. What I'm picking up here is that you've been building something real, something authentic. You haven't been faking it or pretending to be someone you're not. You've been genuinely working on yourself, developing your skills, showing up with integrity, being that person who brings light into spaces. The Queen of Wands doesn't need to announce herself because her presence does that naturally. She's creative, she's passionate. She's got this inner fire that inspires others just by existing in her truth. And here's what's interesting about this energy in your situation. You weren't trying to make anyone jealous. You weren't out here competing with people or trying to one-up anyone. You were literally just being yourself, doing your thing, living your life with purpose and authenticity. But when you shine that bright, when you carry yourself with that kind of genuine confidence and warmth, it triggers something in people who aren't comfortable in their own skin. The Queen of Wands energy you've been embodying has been noticed by someone who sees what you have and feels threatened by it, not because you did anything to them, but because your light makes them confront their own shadows. This person has been watching you. They've seen how people respond to you, how opportunities come your way, how you navigate challenges with grace and determination. They've noticed that you don't have to force respect or admiration because it comes naturally to you. Through your actions and your character, the Queen of Wands doesn't beg for attention. She commands it through authenticity, through being magnetic in her truth. You've been in your power, Capricorn, maybe more than you even realize. Now the second card I pulled is the Page of Swords, and this tells me exactly who this person is and what they've been doing. The Page of Swords is this young, immature energy that's all about surveillance, gossip, communication with ill intent. This is someone who's been watching you like a hawk, gathering information, looking for anything they could use against you. They've been in your business, paying attention to your moves, keeping tabs on what you're doing and who you're connecting with. The Page of Swords energy here is sneaky, but not in a sophisticated way. This is amateur energy. This person thinks they're being clever, thinks they're playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. But really they're just exposing their own insecurity and immaturity. They've been talking about you, spreading stories, trying to plant seeds of doubt in other people's minds about who you are. They might have been gossiping to mutual connections, trying to twist your words or actions, looking for ways to make you look bad. What I'm seeing is that this person has been attempting to sabotage your reputation. They've been trying to control the narrative about you, wanting to influence how others see you because they can't stand that people naturally gravitate toward your Queen of Wands energy. Maybe they've been spreading rumors. Maybe they've been subtly undermining you in conversations. Perhaps they've been playing victim while painting you as a villain. The Page of Swords can be really manipulative with information, using half-truths, taking things out of context, creating drama where there wasn't any. But here's the thing about the Page of Swords energy that this person didn't account for. When you operate from a place of deception and ill intent, when you use your words as weapons to hurt someone who hasn't actually done anything to you, that energy doesn't just disappear into the void. It circles back. The universe has this way of showing people exactly what their own energy feels like, reflecting it back to them so they can learn. This person thought they were throwing stones at you, but they were really building their own glass house. The third card is a Five of Swords, and wow, this shows me the exact dynamic of what went down. The Five of Swords is about conflict, About someone who thinks they've won a battle through underhanded tactics. In the traditional imagery, you see someone holding 3 swords looking smug while the other swords lay on the ground. And in the background, 2 figures walk away defeated. But the victory here is hollow, empty, built on dishonor rather than genuine success. This person genuinely believed they were winning when they were sabotaging you. They thought that by damaging your reputation, by influencing how others perceived you, they would somehow elevate themselves or take something away from your shine. They had this mentality of tearing you down to build themselves up, which is such a scarcity mindset. They couldn't understand that your success, your magnetism, your authentic power wasn't taking anything away from them. But jealousy doesn't operate on logic, it operates on fear and insecurity. What the 5 of Swords is showing me is that this person was willing to fight dirty. They didn't care about truth or fairness. They just wanted to see you fall, wanted to see that Queen of Wands confidence shaken, wanted people to stop seeing you in such a positive light. They collected their little swords, their little pieces of gossip and twisted information, feeling victorious every time they thought they damaged your image in someone's eyes. But here's what they completely missed. What the 5 of Swords always reveals about this kind of victory. When you win through deception, when you gain ground by hurting others unjustly, you don't actually win anything real. You lose respect, you lose integrity, you lose the trust of people around you even if they don't immediately realize what you've done. The 5 of Swords is a Pyrrhic victory, a win that costs you more than what you gain. This person was so focused on taking you down that they didn't notice. They were destroying their own foundation in the process. The energy here tells me that some people did listen to this person initially. Some people might have started questioning you or looking at you sideways, based on what was being said. That's the painful reality of the 5 of Swords dynamic. Lies spread fast, especially when someone is determined to make them stick. You might have felt confused during this time, wondering why certain people were acting different toward you, why opportunities seemed to shift, why there was weird tension in spaces where things used to flow easily. Now the 4th card is a chariot, and this is where the story takes a massive turn. The chariot is about victory, forward movement, triumph through determination and willpower. But it's also about truth coming to light, about someone who's been working hard and moving with integrity finally breaking through obstacles that have been placed in their path. The chariot doesn't stop for nonsense. It doesn't get derailed by people trying to block the road. What I'm seeing with the chariot here is that while this person was busy trying to sabotage you, you just kept moving. You didn't get stuck in the drama. You didn't spend all your energy defending yourself or trying to convince people of your character. You understood something powerful that this person didn't grasp about the Queen of Wands energy. That the truth always shows itself through consistent action, through how you show up day after day, through the results you create and the way you treat people. The chariot tells me you harness both the light and shadow aspects of this situation. The 2 sphinxes pulling the chariot in opposite directions represent different forces, different energies, but the charioteer has control over both. You took the negative energy someone was directing at you, the pain of being misunderstood or misrepresented, the frustration of dealing with jealousy and sabotage. Plus you combined it with your own inner strength, your determination, your faith in yourself, your connection to your truth. You turned all of that into fuel that propelled you forward even faster. People started noticing that no matter what was being said about you, your actions spoke louder. The work you were producing, the way you handled yourself, the consistency of your character. It all started creating a narrative that contradicted whatever lies were being spread. The chariot energy is unstoppable when it's moving with purpose and truth. You became living proof that gossip can't destroy someone who's genuinely solid in who they are. What's beautiful about the chariot appearing here is that it represents a level of success and forward movement that can't be attributed to luck or chance. This is victory that comes from skill, determination, focus, discipline. All those Capricorn qualities you naturally possess came through strong. While someone was trying to trap you in drama and reputation damage, you are building something real, something tangible, something that speaks for itself. The fifth card I pulled is the Three of Pentacles, and this is where we see the collective reality starting to shift. The Three of Pentacles is about collaboration, about skill being recognized, about people coming together to build something of quality. In the traditional image, you see an architect or craftsperson working in a cathedral while to others look on, discussing and appreciating the work being done. This is about earned respect, about recognition that comes from demonstrable skill and contribution. What's happening with the Three of Pentacles is that people are starting to see the real you through your work, through your contributions, through the way you show up in collaborative spaces. The lies and twisted narratives can't hold up against the evidence of who you actually are. When you're in a meeting and you bring brilliant ideas, when you're working on a project and your skill shines through, when you're interacting with colleagues or friends and your genuine nature is evident, that creates a reality that gossip simply cannot override. The Three of Pentacles tells me that your reputation is being rebuilt, but not through you defending yourself or arguing against false narratives. It's being built through the work itself, through your competence, through the value you bring to situations. People who matter, people with discernment, people who care about substance over drama. They're seeing you clearly. They're recognizing your Queen of Wands energy not because you told them about it, but because they're experiencing it firsthand through collaboration and interaction with you. This card also suggests that you're being brought into new opportunities, new circles, new projects where your skills are needed and valued. The universe has this interesting way of opening doors for people who've been unfairly targeted. When someone tries to close doors for you through sabotage, higher quality doors start opening instead. The Three of Pentacles is showing me that you're connecting with people who appreciate genuine talent, who value integrity, who can see through surface level drama to recognize real substance. What's really powerful here is that this card represents a permanent shift in how you're perceived by people who actually matter. The Page of Swords person might have temporarily influenced some people's opinions, might have created some static in how others saw you. But the Three of Pentacles is like the universe saying, actually, let me show everyone who this person really is through their work, through their character, through undeniable evidence of their value. This is reputation built on bedrock instead of sand. Now the sixth and final card is the one that really brings this whole story together, showing what happened to the person who tried to sabotage you. I pulled the Two of Swords and Capricorn. This is a curse they brought upon themselves. The Two of Swords shows a figure blindfolded, holding two swords crossed in front of them, sitting in a position of complete stalemate and self-imposed paralysis. The water behind them is choppy. The moon is visible. Everything about this card screams being stuck in indecision, blocked by your own doing, trapped in a situation where you can't move forward. This is what happened to your saboteur. While you were moving forward with the Chariot, while you were building your reputation through the Three of Pentacles, this person got stuck. They cursed themselves through their own jealousy and ill intent. The Two of Swords is showing me that they're now in a position where they can't make progress in their own life because they spend so much energy focused on destroying yours. Here's how the curse manifests. When you spend your time and energy tearing someone else down instead of building yourself up, you create energetic stagnation in your own path. This person was so obsessed with sabotaging you, so consumed with jealousy and comparison, that they neglected their own growth, their own opportunities, their own development. While you were out here being the Queen of Wands, creating and building and shining, they were being the Page of Swords, lurking and gossiping and scheming. One of those energies moves you forward, the other keeps you stuck in toxic patterns. The Two of Swords tells me this person is now facing the consequences of their actions in ways they didn't anticipate. Maybe people started catching on to their gossiping nature and now don't trust them. Maybe their negative focus created such bad energy around them that opportunities stopped flowing their way. Maybe they've become so consumed with bitterness and jealousy that they can't see clearly anymore, can't make good decisions, can't connect authentically with others because they're too busy being suspicious and comparative. The blindfold on the Two of Swords figure represents self-imposed blindness. This person has blinded themselves to their own potential by being so focused on yours. They can't see their own path because they're too busy watching yours. They can't recognize their own opportunities because they're too consumed with trying to block yours. They've created a mental prison for themselves where they're stuck in this defensive, protective posture, holding their swords crossed in front of them like they're under attack, when really the only person attacking them is themselves through their own toxic mindset. What's really interesting about this card appearing as the outcome for your saboteur is that the Two of Swords often represents a choice that needs to be made, but isn't being made. This person is at a crossroads where they could choose to let go of jealousy, focus on their own path, do the inner work to heal their insecurity, but they're stuck in indecision about whether to keep harboring resentment or to finally release it and move on. The energy of being stuck is the curse. They curse themselves into a stalemate where they can't move in any direction because they're paralyzed by their own negative emotions and the consequences of their actions. People around them are probably starting to see through their facade. The Five of Swords hollow victory is catching up with them. Whatever they thought they gained by trying to damage your reputation is being revealed as empty, meaningless, built on lies that eventually crumble. Meanwhile, you're out here with the Chariot moving forward, with the Three of Pentacles being recognized for your actual skills and contributions, with your Queen of Wands energy shining even brighter because you didn't let someone else's jealousy dim your light. The most profound thing about this reading, Capricorn, is that you didn't have to do anything to this person for them to experience consequences. You didn't have to get revenge, didn't have to expose them, didn't have to fight back in the way they were fighting against you. The universe handled it through natural law, through the simple reality that what you put out comes back to you. That energy directed with ill intent creates blockages in your own path. That trying to curse someone else's journey ends up cursing your own. Your job was simply to keep being the Queen of Wands, to keep moving like the Chariot, to keep building your reputation through genuine skill and contribution like the Three of Pentacles. You did that. You stayed in your integrity while someone else lost theirs. You kept developing yourself while someone else stayed stuck in comparison and jealousy. You chose growth while they chose stagnation disguised as strategy. The message coming through for you now is to recognize how far you've come. Despite someone actively trying to hold you back, you've proven that authentic power cannot be diminished by jealousy. That real talent and character will always shine through false narratives eventually. That staying true to yourself is the best protection against people who wish you harm. You turned a situation that could have broken you into something that made you stronger, more focused, more clear about who you are and what you're building. For anyone watching this who resonates with Capricorn energy or is going through something similar, I want you to understand something crucial. When someone tries to sabotage you out of jealousy, it says everything about them and nothing about you. Their inability to celebrate your success, their need to tear you down to feel better about themselves, their willingness to spread lies and manipulate perceptions, that's their character flaw. Their internal struggle, their spiritual deficit. You don't have to absorb that energy or let it define your reality. The best response to sabotage is exactly what this reading shows. Keep building, keep growing, keep shining, keep being authentic. Let your work speak for itself. Let your character reveal itself through consistent action. Trust that people with discernment will see the truth. That opportunities aligned with your highest good will find you. That the universe has a way of clearing paths for people who walk them with integrity. To the Capricorns watching, you're entering a phase where your reputation is being restored and elevated beyond where it was before this whole situation started. The Three of Pentacles energy is bringing you into spaces where you're truly valued, where your contributions matter, where people recognize your worth without you having to prove it constantly. The chariot momentum is carrying you toward goals and achievements that this jealous person never could have blocked, no matter how hard they tried. Let this reading be confirmation that you're on the right path, that your Queen of Wands energy is a gift, not a threat, that the people meant to recognize your value will do so regardless of what anyone says against you. Keep moving forward with confidence, keep building with integrity, keep shining with authenticity. The curse that person brought upon themselves through their jealousy and sabotage is their lesson to learn, not your burden to carry.